Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ, and we are back on another episode of Redstone from scratch. The series where we're going through the very basics of Redstone and working our way up through into more and more difficult and complicated things. This episode, however, is a little bit against the grain a little bit because it's super simple. It's an automatic brewing system here. So, let's say we're fighting the dragon, or we're about to fight the dragon, we're getting prepared. We want some strength potions, so what we're going to do is we're going to get strength potion, and let's make it a little bit extended as well, so it lasts a little bit longer. We'll push the button, and it'll automatically take everything we need and start putting them into the brewing stand here. So as you can see, the nether wart has already gone in. The nether wart is automatic. You don't need to set the nether wart because we're going to need it anyway, so that's the first thing that always comes out. As soon as this finishes, the next item, which in this case is the blaze powder for potion of strength, will go in. So nether wart's gone, blaze powder's in. So we've now got an awkward potion, and now all that's left is the redstone, just to extend it a little tiny bit, to make it last a little bit longer. So as soon as that's finished, nearly there. There's no way of speeding up a brewing stand. That's the only thing. And then there we go. So the redstone's going in. So while that's going in, we might as well say, well, I tell you what, while we're here, we'll also have a speed potion, because I like my speed potions, and we'll make them speed 2, and we'll make them a splash potion. So we've got the glowstone ticked, the gunpowder ticked, and the sugar ticked. We'll click this. These should be pretty much done now. There we go. So we've got 8-minute strength potions. As soon as we take the potions out, we've got water bottles already replacing it automatically. And it goes again. And then up here, we've got the sugar, the glowstone, and the gunpowder all waiting to go in. I nearly drank it then. I didn't really need to. Delete those. Don't need them anymore, do we? Okay, so, as you can see, nether wart goes in. Sugar is next. Wonderful. So, looking at the back of this, that is all it is. It is insanely simple. I wanted to try and work out a one that was so simple that anybody could do it at any time. Now, you are going to need a little bit of iron to get these hoppers going. The reason why I've used hoppers instead of a water stream is just because it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. Yeah, and just easier to use than having to mess around with water and corners and etc, etc. So, first thing we're going to do is we'll just mirror it exactly up to this one. And you're going to delete 6 blocks off the ground like so. On the first 3 blocks, you're going to place redstone, 1, 2, 3. And then back here, you're going to place 3 normal pistons. You can use 6 sticky pistons if you want. But the way that I've got this set up is if you use sand on normal pistons, those sticky pistons are required. You don't need any slime balls, which is fantastic for some of you, because I know a lot of you struggle with finding slimes. Okay, so we're going to place blocks on that and levers on here. So now, if we flick a lever, depending on which lever we flick, depends on what piston comes up. We do need the redstone underneath it. If we take this redstone away, it doesn't work, okay? It won't go through. So you definitely need the redstone underneath it, and then each one will power each piston. Step 1 completed. Now, I always use these last 3 here as the 3 sort of final, the 3 addition ones. So I have these on here, and then we're going to put redstone, glowstone, and gunpowder. Okay, boop, boop, boop. And then on the back here, what we're going to do, let's flick that lever back again. Yep. What we're going to do on the back is we're going to get some droppers, and you're going to place, you're going to just have to place 1 there for the minute, so you can place 1 on front, like this, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Okay. Now we might as well put our stuff in here. So what did I have on this one? We've got redstone in this one, glowstone in this one, gunpowder in this one. You can fill these right up if you wanted to, if you've got the resources to. But to be honest, you're not going to make all that many potions that often, so 9 stacks of redstone might be a little bit overkill. Okay, so to save some space, what we're going to do is put a piece of redstone here, in here, which means you only need 1 repeater, and then have a line of redstone at the back here. Okay, so this, by itself, will actually work for what we want it to do. So if I put a button on here, if I push the button and we didn't want any effects on them, we just wanted a normal potion, when we pushed it, nothing would fire this end on these 3. But if we want gunpowder, now when I press it, this piston has now pushed the sand up, so we get gunpowder come out. And if we want gunpowder and redstone, we flick them both, and then gunpowder and redstone come shooting out. Okay? Remove that. Wonderful. Drop these back down. And then it's a matter of doing exactly the same thing over here. So, there's technically sort of 8 ingredients that we have so far on Xbox. On PC there's more. It doesn't matter how many you set up for, you could only set up for the ones that you really need. If you wanted to, you could only have ones for speed and strength or health. You know, if you're never going to use the other ones, completely up to you how many rows you want to do. But until we get rabbit's feet and pufferfish and whatever else is on its way for the potions, we've just got these 8 really to worry about. So again, you can either put item frames like I have with the ingredients, but if you don't know what the ingredients actually sort of relate to, then you could always put a bottle of the actual potion, or you could write signs out and you could have poison, night vision, speed, strength, corrupt potion, or, you know, inverted potion, regeneration, fire resistance, and instant health. You know, written on signs. Up to you. But what we're going to do now is just repeat the process over here. So we'll put these blocks on. Ready. Get these droppers. I cannot believe how simple this is to do. A lot of people make these automatic brewing systems and they make them so complicated. Now we could make it more complicated if we wanted to. We could have it automatically take the potions out when it's done. But as far as that goes, we don't really need that. How often are you going to make these potions? You don't make them all that often. What's the point of making it way overcomplicated when all you need is to be able to make a potion quickly whenever you want to? Okay, so to save space again, we're going to go redstone and a repeater sort of switch between them every time. Join these up. Whoops. Join these all up. We're going to have a block in the middle. I'm going to put a repeater here because the redstone isn't going to quite reach. And there's a little tiny help of having a repeater here. Not that it really matters with this hopper layout that we've got. But we want these droppers to activate before these ones. We want the potion to be made before we either make it a splash or extend it or, you know, make it stronger, whatever. So these 3 always want to come last. So I suppose a little repeater does help, but the only reason why we've really got it is so the redstone can reach all the way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come out down to here, where we're going to have our button, and then we're going to hook the redstone up to that. So now if we push the button, we will get all the stuff that we want. If I had this one fired and some up there, it would fire out everything we need, but it wouldn't go into any hoppers yet because we don't have them. We also don't have anything for the nether wart, which we need to set up. So let's put down our brewing stand. In fact, we can put it right next to this. Let's get some hoppers ready. Hoppers and a chest and a brewing stand. That's probably the most important part of the whole of the whole lot. So we have the brewing stand. Very simply here, we're going to put a hopper on the side, point it into the brewing stand from the side with a chest on top. This is where your water bottles are going to go, in there. So that's going to fill up the bottom ones, and then a hopper going into the top of it will put items in this top part. So the hopper in the side goes into the bottom ones, the hopper in the top puts it in the top one. Okay? Now very simply, all we're going to do is click on the previous side of the previous hopper and just have a channel all the way down, and these hoppers will fire directly into hiccups, directly into the hoppers themselves. The dispensers will fire straight into them, run all the way down at the next one, and the next one, and the next one, straight into the brewing stand. So, nether wart. Nether wart's the most important thing when building any of these stuff. So what we're going to do is directly first, we're going to have a dispenser with nether wart in it. So let's get the nether wart. Nether wart. There we go, that'll do. Nether wart in there. Redstone goes up here. Now we don't need any delay or anything because this hopper is going to be the first one to fire. Well, it's going to fire the same time as this one, for example, because there's no repeaters on it. But because it's closer to the brewing stand, it sort of goes into the hopper first and starts making its way down before this one or this one does or any other ones. So we don't need any delay or anything on it, which makes it very, very simple. And we're done. And that is it. That is how insanely simple it is. So if I just grab, for testing's sake, if we get some glistening melon. Where's glistening melon gone? It's deceiving me. Here it is. Glistening melon. and we stick that in this first one, for example. So that's going to make a health potion. We get some, or instant health, sorry. We get some bottles. We put these in here. These will also filter out into the hopper here, like that. So they've gone into the brewing stand. They're also in the hopper, and they're waiting in the chest as well. You could double chest this if you wanted more storage. That would be absolutely fine. We're going to flick this. I put some stuff in here, didn't I? I did. Wonderful. So let's have it it's going to be an instant health potion. So there's no point extending it. We could make it stronger and make it a splash one. We then hit the button. This is where our testing all comes to plan. From the back, you can see which pistons are raised up with the sand. The benefit of using sand is that you don't need any sticky pistons to have to bring the blocks back down. This should be making the awkward potion first. Come on. Boop. Okay, so now the glistening melons going in there to make it instant health. This should make it instant health too, and then it'll finally make it into a splash potion. And then you just take them out by yourself whenever you need them. Apart from that, you just put item frames, signs, or anything else you want to put on the front there. I would recommend leaving these dispensers free to be seen. So if you are going to sort of neaten this up and make it look nice, I'm just using logs for the moment. I probably don't recommend using logs and wool together. But if you were going to make it nice and put some sort of surround around it in your base, make sure you leave the dispensers free like this, just so you can refill them really, really easily when you need to. Okay, it just makes it a little bit simpler, doesn't it? While that's making that, how are we getting on? Okay, so we've got the instant health 2, and then this is just going to make it a splash potion. Stick these down here. That looks pretty cool, actually, doesn't it? I sort of like the wood and the wool together. I might do that. And there we go. So we've got our splash potions of instant health. Water bottles are replaced, ready to go for the next one, whatever that was going to be. Alright guys, we're going to leave it there for this episode. It is super, super simple. Just a little bit of iron required. Apart from that, it's just the very basics of redstone and some cobblestone for the droppers and a tiny little bit of redstone there. Absolutely wonderful, guys. We're going to leave it there. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we shall see you in the next episode. Bye!